Good morning, people. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know the place. Y'all know the sound. It's your boy, James Bubba Williams, DJ Exclusive. In the building, fresh off the plane. From Jamaica, dog. Good morning, everybody. Y'all come on in. Get settled. Y'all got me for the next 30 minutes, man, until like it or not. Y'all come on in, chill, get your coffee, beverage, whatever it is. Get your morning on, y'all. It's the Prediction Show, like it or not, it's coming up soon. Baby, from the struggle, all I had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Baby, from the struggle. Lily, good morning, missed you too. Had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Pull up in that rain. Hey, y'all, Walker, what's going on? Jermaine Lewis, Anna Hart, good morning. Eric Odinson, Esther Roach, good morning. Brother Chuck Diesel is in the building. What's going on, Brother Chuck? I hate the fact we ain't talking, but anything that you need, dog, I got you, I mean that. All this pressure make it hard not to relapse. Build up aggression, make it hard for me to relax. Baby, ain't no way that I'ma lead that. My dogs need hoes, step it up, I gotta be that. Cause life's so crazy, the way been through. I'ma love you way before I gotta miss you. Hope this mama bought my socket for some tissue. Rosie B, good morning, Jazz Matapo. Jazz Matapo, I love that name. Good morning, Jazz. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Baby, from the struggle, long time had a hustle. I'm glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Good morning, y'all. Come on in. Got situated, get settled. Right now, what you're looking at on the screen is Bubba's vacation pics. My God, today it was an awesome time to be had by all. And that was a bar in the middle of the ocean that I had to go to on a little dinky boat. I ain't appreciate that, but it was still fun, man, nonetheless. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Baby, from the struggle, long time. Amber Layla, good morning. Jason, good morning to you. Tiger, good morning. Find me in the night. We both know when it's right. On it goes. Good morning. Babe, I can. Yes, that's me and all my shirtless glory looking all chocolate and crap, man. My way. Come meet me. Man, that picture right there was a party that we rolled up on our ATV in the middle of the mountain and the watering hole. Off the chain. Kev, see what's going on, brother? I missed you, Kev. Marquez, what's going on? Mar Cherise, bonjour from Paris. All right, Mar, good morning. So give me when I want it, baby. Oh, Lily, just wait till you see the video. My dog was singing that song to that plant. I was running there singing along with him. Favorite picture of the trip right there, y'all. KFC, brother, it was much needed. But I missed the hell out of y'all, though. I'm not gonna lie, man. I wanted to do the show so bad while I was in Jamaica, but the damn Wi-Fi went out for like 5 days. And on the last day, I decided to come back home. I want you close and tight. Yeah, I want it my way. Love is a feeling. Oh yeah, by the way, I started my OnlyFans today. I'm just playing, y'all. And this video right here is the sunset in the middle of the bar, in the middle of the ocean that we were on. My baby crocodile. That somebody dropped. Delby Hall, good morning to you. Crocodile's up here. Shaw, good morning. That's what I did in Jamaica. A fun time, a fun time.
I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad, light up ties in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I never sold pack for the stack, never lied on the rack. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass survive, doing 80 to the house. Then I hit it to the sky, change haters on a tirade. Talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hit stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to enlighten. Trail spill from my lips, feel big from the bip. Take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grip, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast ride. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that.
Man, I was gonna make a joke about paper, but it was terrible.
I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beast with the slap, hit myself on the map. I'm blowing with the wind, but we know that it's cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, can you see me making moves while I'm at? I'm still on the grind, limit time when I chat. Burn it down, sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how I'm made.
From the glass in the mirror, yeah. Do it at me, old man, tryna pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see that.
Ricky, good morning, Ricky. I did. Shoot the Dragon, like you did, and that's where I got it from.
I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash. Got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space for 10 bad here. I'ma curve them all, 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I'm big since I swag on the set list. Going past something what I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers.
Man, Ricky, it was amazing. Man, I'm a battery dead already. God dang.
Gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace.
All right. Y'all just look at the black screen for a second. It's just my image up there, okay?
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Ooh, she muted.
I don't like being on this side of the screen because
it is weird. Okay,
there we go. All right.
Yeah.
Good
morning.
Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. Rebecca.
Today is December 20th, and it is a day. This is around the time where a lot of companies start seeing the engagement from their employees shift. And they, a lot of corporate people, I know for sure, just people just feel like, hey, it's the holidays, my family's in town, or I've went off to go see my family, or I'm not here mentally, I'm on holiday. So people really just don't show up. I know that in my corporate job, I was looking at productivity, and then people have not been doing a damn thing. I was in a whole meeting, and my manager's assistant was like, listen, a lot of people really ain't really showing up. Like, so we need you to really hold down. Me? Me? It's not happening. But
how does that happen? How does that happen? Like, people aren't showing up, so we're putting it all on you.
And I'm like, why me? And I'm like, is it because you feel like,
girl, you know why it is.
Yeah. So I had to tell him. I laughed. I really laughed, and I was like, no, I'm probably going to be one of those people that are calling out too.
They know.
They know already.
They should know. They should know.
So, anywho, where's Ben this morning? Does anybody know?
Okay, so that lets me know that you ain't talked to him either.
No. So he on Twitter.
No, I don't think so.
Who knows? I don't know. Shout out to Ben, wherever Ben is. We love you, brother Ben. We love you wherever you are.
We love you, brother Ben. Yeah, wherever you are. I hope that you're taking this day off and you're enjoying yourself. Yeah. I know that you said you needed one, so hopefully that is what you're doing.
Say off one more time. Say it again, because I heard that New York accent. You sound like Nicki Minaj. Off. I'm like, okay, Nicki.
You're taking the day off, okay? So, but yeah, I really hope that, because he be around here. Like the other day, he was saying that, we be having him just out there, and he can never take any days off, or he can't do nothing. I'm like, we have offered you to take so many days, and you just be like,
so many
popping up and showing up, and nobody asks for your present.
This may be the week that Ben is actually taking off the week, but with Ben, we'll see what happens.
Well, anywho.
Well,
look, what's in the news? No, seriously, there is a story that I want to cover. I know, Ben wasn't really too interested in covering this one, but I said I'll go ahead and take those rubber bullets. I'll go ahead and have that conversation. Over the weekend, Charlamagne on his show, that he has.
Let's talk about it.
He was speaking to Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, who, we haven't seen, but she showed up to that show, that nighttime show.
Did she show up?
She showed up, baby. She showed up and showed out. She was asked by Charlamagne, who's the real president, and why is it Joe Manchin? And I want us to take a look at her response.
The president of this country, is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president. It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm Vice President, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit.
Who's the superhero that's going to speak against Joe Manchin? No. I want to know who's the real president of this country. Is it Joe Biden or Joe Manchin?
I'm sorry. I interrupted. I don't think the Vice President can hear you. It's Simone. I'm so sorry, Charlamagne. We have to wrap.
She can hear me.
You can hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Madam Vice President?
I'm sorry. We got to wrap.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh.
See, no, I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah, so we're actually missing so it actually happened in reverse. That last part happened in the beginning, and then she said, my name's, that Biden's the president. My name's Kamala Harris. And she went on for like a good minute and a half. I'm not sure what happened to the editing of the clip, but, basically laid out all the things that they're claiming credit for, and that it's been difficult, but we've done all of these things. We've addressed like Black pregnancies and mortality rates, and we've done this and done that. And then at the end, he was like, "I want that fighter Kamala." At the end, that's what Charlamagne said. He was like, "I want that type of temperament."
Yeah, and then context is very important, because if you're just watching it from the clip that went viral, and me and Ben talked about this too, we have to watch all of it. And I think it got really, really spicy, like jalapeno pepper, habanero. It definitely got really Diablo sauce spicy. So but I think that a lot of people online were taking the conversation two ways, right? And as always, and one of those points where, a lot of the people who are, stands for the vice president, and that's fine, but it was just, why is he talking to the vice president like this? But if you watch throughout, I don't think there was any disrespect, but questions that the American people already are feeling and they are asking. And because he has an opportunity to speak with someone who cannot be found most of the time, these are the times to get those questions out. So in her talking about these things that they are doing, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, but these major things that they campaigned on, why? Why didn't those things happen?
Wow.
Why are the current things happening? And when we mention people like Joe Manchin, why is there so much power in his voice? And that's not what we put you guys in place to do, to just sit around and be pushed around and not have voices. So for him to end that and say, you know what, that fire that you're showing right now, that's what we need. That's how we need you to show up. That's honest. And I think that's very truthful. And I agree with it 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, she shouldn't have took defense on that because he asked that question. I mean, it's the truth. Joe Manchin act like he running things, and y'all know where to be found. I saw Joe Manchin was in the news just recently, like yesterday or today, saying that he was going against something Biden did. Of course he is.
But before we get to Manchin, there is a second clip that didn't get as much attention, where he actually questioned her on the broken promise about student loans, and I know that'll be of interest. If you roll a C2, I think it's C2 doing.
Okay, what happened to that student loan money? What happened to the $10,000 promised to the students for student loan debt? Why did they renege on that?
So I know you had Secretary Cardona on recently, and I'll tell you, he is working to increase relief for students. And I get it. I get the issue that you're talking about. I had student loans. I mean, look, it's right now we have so many people, tens of millions of people in the United States who are dealing with student loan debt and responsibilities, and it's standing in the way of them being able to start a family or buy a home. And it's real, and we need to deal with it. I remember, I'm gonna date myself, but I had that little coupon where I'd have to pull out the coupon and put in the number and send a check with it every month. And that's real. That is real.
There is nothing real, and I don't like that, because
I hated that.
The Hillary Clinton hot sauce in my bag. It's the Hillary Clinton. This is equivalent to that for me. Not that you're dating yourself by saying that, but back then, coupons could actually do something back then. You rolling up with a coupon, you better have about 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 to get you one product. It is not... I think, she is not reading the room correctly. This is not the time. We need answers. It's not about, I get it. I, too, about 54 years ago, had to use coupons. And I, too, had to eat noodles. I, too, struggled to put gas in my car. Like, you mentioning all these...
still eat noodles.
I eat noodles, and I like to sauce mine up. I like to really be creative with mine. I like to
coupons don't even work for me no more. It's not enough. It's still not enough.
Listen,
I'm sorry, Jamel. Go ahead.
But honestly, though, she is saying things that don't affect her currently. But before she even made that statement, she actually named not having to get coupons as an issue. She actually named real issues: people not being able to buy a house, people in debt, not being able to afford a car. Those things, those are real issues. And so those loans that people are paying on prevents them to do a lot of those things. So if that's the real question, why can't we hone in on that and how we can do better? The same thing that you guys promised us, not us reaching into your back pocket to say, you see this coupon, I keep it in my pocket to show where I came from, where I used to be in my life. We don't need that conversation. Like we really don't need that conversation. So it's interesting just to see that, but I want people to understand. I like Charlamagne on Mondays and Tuesdays. I really don't, like a lot of the things that he does do or covers or whatever sometimes. But if this is all we got, and if this is what who she chose to say yes to in conversation because she thought it was going to be him treating her like auntie, but she really was questioned like, hey, what are we doing? Where is, how is, but you said, so how do we move forward? She didn't know she was going to get those questions. So for her to automatically, pull out the neck and the black card all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't see that a lot from her. So for her to say, Joe Biden is the president and I am vice president. Okay, girl.
Kamala Harris with the neck
we
roll.
Get it.
Like
had
to do that. You know what station you were going on. You're going on Charlamagne, so you had to act the role. Cool.
It was giving me, that's not what we need. So I think the conversation was necessary. I'm gonna go back and actually watch it in its full entirety to really, discuss that. But there's so much more that she could have said in that moment, especially because this is the only times that we're seeing her. So when you are presented with these questions, do not feel like these are just something that he's pulling out of his ass. I know that you've seen what social media is saying about you. I know that you understand that people are asking, where are you? I know that you are seeing people say, you can't do walkthroughs in the White House and think that's going to make us feel better about you guys not making the promises, not sticking to the promises, or not fighting for those promises. A lot of those other things are really good, but we were looking for a right now change when it came to those things that you guys are campaigning off of. At least let us see you guys fighting for it. We don't hear much about those things, and we want to be able to live some kind of life while you guys are in office, but you guys aren't doing much for us in the now. Like, honestly, and a lot of people who are affected by the things that you aren't doing and that you promised, I don't think you're showing any care for, and people are just saying, well, she just got in. Well, you guys are saying that a month into their presidency and vice presidency. You guys are saying that 3 months in, 6 months in. When do we call a thing, and when do we call that thing out?
Yeah, because it's coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
And I already know that February, here go my check getting garnished. So now, I'm about to see me on this show begging for money all the goddamn time. I have no choice. That's because call a thing. I'm going to be begging like a mug. Here it is. James Bubba Williams, DJ Exclusive, will be begging for money come February because this check is going to get garnished because punk-ass student loans.
Okay, so
love you, Ben.
I was gonna say, talk about that. That's a real issue, though, because of student loans. You may have your check garnished, or you will have your check garnished, and that's people's stories. That's people's lives. I have never been attacked. Like, I'm looking right now as we speak. I am looking at my emails on my phone that are coming, I think, every 3 hours in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. Yesterday, I said, Great Lake borrowers, why are you attacking me at this time? Navient was like 2 hours later, and now they are coming consistently. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this on air. You can record it. It is not off the record. It is on the record. And I know a lot of people who are paying their student loans, I'm not paying my student loans back.
Yeah.
I had the intentions of going to school for free. I feel like my education and the amount of money that I'm paying, even with, I have a best friend who was, she's out of state. She was an out of state student and came in, on a military, when you can come in, I think if you live in state, you do in-state tuition and military tuition and all that. You have the different ones. But we're paying like the same thing. I thought it was cheaper to go to school in state. I have a friend that came out of state and we're paying the same. Like, they are, I don't know somebody who is 17, 18, 19 in $100,000 debt. with like your university or whatever because you decided to go to school. That to me is, by the time you're 21, you left school, you already had almost $200,000 in debt for education. Then you go on to get your master's degree. I went on to get my master's degree. I don't even know, I haven't looked, but I added more tens of thousands of dollars on that.
That's why I didn't even go back for my to continue in education to get my master's, because I don't have that much money. I don't want to go back, like spend the rest of my life, the remaining life, paying back student loans. And a lot of people saying defer. I can't even defer anymore.
Why can't you defer?
You gotta
anymore?
understand, because my loans are so old. It's just like they won't give me any deferments, and so then once I try to get out of garnishment, they want you to pay a full year first of payments before they get you out of garnishment. So here it is. Y'all garnishing my check already, almost $300 every time I get paid. Then you want me to pay $100 or $200 more a month. So now I have to wait a whole year before you even start garnishing my check. And then you'll set me up on a payment plan after that. No, man. I just quit my damn job so you can't garnish my shit no more.
Listen, Bubba, I don't like that for you. I don't like that. And your story is, again, the same as so many people's stories. When I first got out of college, I was told if I don't pay, and I didn't have any knowledge, because while you're taking out these loans, you know how it is. They have all these things that you're writing about, all of these, not writing about, all these things that you're supposed to read about in fine print. And if you think that a 19-year-old or a 17-year-old is going to read that, because I was 17 at the time when I was, signing up for, if you think that I'm going to read that, I just need to get into school. I just need my housing to be paid for. I need that, I need to make sure that I have my dorm set. I need to make sure that I'm able to get on and off campus properly. And that's all my mind was at, for me to be able to get my books and my courses and everything in place. Because remember, those are costly. We got to pay for each, and those don't come for free. They don't come with your classes. You got to go pay for that. Everything, the system, our education system was created to literally take every single dime away from us. And so, dime that we don't have, that we're borrowing, that they know that they will just take from us for the rest of our lives. And so, I don't understand. If I didn't read that, now I come to a time now it says if I didn't start to, when I got out of college, they were attacking me. They actually were, at a time when I got out of college, they would send in people like, if you, the collection callers, they would send them in and have the conversations with me. And at the time, maybe like, when did I graduate? About 10 years ago. I graduated about 10 years ago. My God. That was undergrad. And when I, at that time, they were allowed to call you and harass you and say, hey, the police are going to come to your door. Hey, we're going to serve you papers, just to scare you into paying something. And I thought that was like, I used to be so scared. I'm like, I don't have any money. I don't have any income. I just, I was crying on the phone, and they were like, well, if you could just sign up for $5 a month. How about that?
Oh my God, Rebecca.
So I pushed for the $5 a month, and when I finally got to some, I don't know, maybe like stature after paying $5 a month, or it was $5 every 2 weeks. I don't remember what it was. I didn't even have any income at the time. I was a broke graduate student, and at that point, I was like, dang, I don't even have $5 in my name that really I can give, because I need to put gas in my car to go look for jobs. At the time, I was like, I need to go and do this. No, they told me they will have the police at my house. They're going to have me served with papers. And I didn't know anything. And so at that time, I gave them my last of my last. And they finally were like, now you're able for us to start. And I probably was able to do it the whole time, but to start deferring my loans. They didn't even tell me that was an option. They didn't tell me that all they had to ask you was 3 questions. And you say that I can't pay for it. I don't have a job. 0 repayment. That's a thing. And you can 0 repay that until, God knows. But for you, Bubba, the fact that they have you grandfathered out of the system, I think that it basically is very eerie.
Yeah, and it is one of those things that you said, like the $5 payment. The only way that I was able to get that payment when I did, I had to basically lie and say I don't have a job. That was it. That was the only way. I'm like, I have no job. I'm not making any money. Knowing I'm working a full-time job, because I would have said I had a job, they would have been trying to take at least $300 a month for me. And at that time, I'm like, man, stuff is already hard. I can't afford that. I can't afford rent, utilities, and everything else on top of then you want to add this on. I'm not making that much money. Yeah, the cost of living is already high and it's not equaling out to what I'm making in income. Now you want to add on to that to pay off some stuff that I did years ago. I'm like, that's stupid as hell.
Listen, if you want this degree, come get it. Now, I happen to be using mine, but at the same time, like, if you want this degree, come get it. Come get it, come get it. It was cute. I love my HBCU. You know, I love my media graduate school that I went to. Everything was nice, but baby, if you want this, come and get it. Because if this is what's causing y'all to be like, oh, we gave you the degree, you need to pay us this money. No, I feel like all of us did our due diligence. Like, we paid y'all back when we went to y'all school and had to suffer on campus. And, you know, on top of us having to pay for books and things like that, we're pushed out to live off campus after a few years, or for me, after a year. But you're pushed off to move off campus. Now you're in off campus housing. Now you are living a lifestyle of having to pay for apartments, having to feed yourself outside of the CAF's food. You know, getting that 3 meals a day was no longer a thing when you are now living as an adult on the outside, trying to figure out how you're going to get money. You're trying to figure out, should I take summer courses? Because now that's going to be this certain amount if I do take a summer course, or if I'm going to stay at school this much longer because I don't have the money to take these credit hours, or am I going to cut down some credit hours? Your life becomes this whole thing surrounded by money. I've told you guys the story while she's talking about how she had the coupon. I had to pull together God knows how much change to eat food that I didn't eat just to put something in my body. I'm talking about McDonald's double cheeseburger off the dollar menu. I didn't want to take it home to my brother who was living with me at the time because I didn't want to share it. Y'all, these are like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are real stories. And I had to eat it in the parking lot near the school because I knew if I left, I may not be able to come back with the gas that I didn't have. 3 days riding on E, scared to call my dad because he just sent me money that I used to pay a light bill because my lights were off for about a week. These are true stories. Okay? This is true college, undergrad life with loans and things like that. Loans are real. Education is beautiful and education is great, but they make you feel like you don't want to get it. You don't need to get it anymore. It's not, it's no longer important, because then what do we do when we come out? And this is going to be my last comment on this. What do we do when we come out of school? We go look for a job that tells us that we are not qualified because we do not have any, any experience under our belts, 10 years of experience, 30 years of experience. I could say that's our story because that's slightly changing nowadays for Generation Z. But for us who got out of school, these millennials, y'all older millennials, and then us, what they would do is literally we go to school, we get drained for money we didn't have, all of that. And it's great when we're walking across the stage. We've reached an accomplishment. We're happy. Now we go and try to move to a town, or we go home to go find us a job fitting the degree that we have. Now we get to these places and we're applying for jobs. What happens then? We are told that we don't have 10 years of experience. So you need 10 to 25 years of experience. You need to have your social security. You need to have your bank information. You need a rib. We need an organ from you for you to be able to take this job. And now you end up, after going to a state-of-the-art university, after getting a state-of-the-art, education, after getting a state-of-the-art degree, you're working. And this is a true story for me. I moved to New York. I was doing a lot for like TV shows and stuff out there that were paying me nothing, because at the time they told you needed to do what? You needed to intern. I interned for a lot of great people, big names, great shows, and then got nothing for it. So I started working at the Gap on the side, the flagship store, as a stylist in the men's department. Yes, I did, at the Gap on 34th Street. Shout out to the Gap. And, that lifestyle was just becoming too much for me. So I moved home and I started working at a store called Desigual at the mall. And you guys, it was the most embarrassing time for me, because I'm somebody who I felt like, again, graduated from a state-of-the-art school, again, got a great education, again, has that degree, and I'm working, handing people shopping bags. people that I went to school with in high school and middle school. And they were paying me $9 an hour because they said I didn't have experience working in those kind of places. Mind you, I just told you I worked at the flagship store and I was a stylist at the Gap. And then boom, I'm working for Desigual, who's telling me I still don't have enough experience to work at the cash register, y'all. So I was handing out shopping bags. And that's when I decided I'm moving to Atlanta with no clothes, no money, no nothing. I'm just moving to Atlanta. And I got my graduate degree and I am still poor.
Yes, indeed. Right. And look, listen, I'm just like you. Like after I got out, because look, I couldn't even finish school. I exhausted all of my loans.
Wow.
Trying to get in school, trying to finish. So I couldn't get back. I couldn't even finish school because of that. I had to leave. Mama tell you, some of it was my fault being in college, but that was only like 1 or 2 years. But then after that, after I lost my band scholarship, I couldn't afford school by myself. So I had to leave. Here it is, all this money have to pay back still to this day and probably going to be paying it back forever. And then because that damn student loan debt is on my record, I can get a house.
Wow.
At all.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's why I say for them to start putting it back on, because I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to hold you. With the pausing of the student loan debts, right? Or for us to pay it back, right? The repayments. A lot of people who could not get a house before the panoramic were able to get a house because what was happening is the housing folks was looking for people to come on and get these houses. And they were not looking at the time, student loans because, we weren't repaying them at the time. We weren't required to repay them. So that was something that a lot of these mortgage companies or a lot of these real estate companies were like, okay, what you got? And they weren't including the student loans into looking at for your finances in that time. So I know so many people who got houses during that time. And now you're talking about, and Kamala, I'm talking to you, now you're on the show saying, you understand that these student loans were the cause of people not being able to get homes, not being able to get cars, not being able to provide food to their children, those kind of things. But what is the solution for that? And I'm going to say this for, everybody. I understand the conversation in the chat is moving towards, voting for the lesser of two evils because, the GOP can make it worse. I do get that. I certainly get that 100%. But let's be honest. Even though we may vote for the lesser of two evils for whatever the case may be, we still got to hold them accountable. I think that's where we're missing the point. A lot of the people on the left are looking at Kamala like a savior, and a lot of black women are holding her to that stature because she's black. She's a black woman, which is a beautiful thing. I love to see a woman of color in this space. I do. Don't get me wrong. I'm voting for everybody and everything black. But that does not mean that we can't have the conversation with you and we won't hold you accountable. Because when other people on the other side are having this conversation with you, it's like, you can sashay off, you can do that. But when we're sitting at the table with each other, we're going to have that family conversation. I think that's what Charlamagne was doing. He was like, listen, sis, this is what's going on. This is what the streets is talking about. So what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? We have to be able to hold you guys accountable. And that was the promise that we made to ourselves when we put these people in these seats. We got to hold them accountable. We can't forget that because we're coddling the fact that she is a person of color and she's a woman and we don't want her to be attacked. We have to understand that she is in a position to be attacked every day because she is the vice president, and that does not mean that you can't do your job or give people answers for a lot of the questions that they have for promises that weren't kept. And that's just where I'm at with it.
Talk about a segue. Well, James, you have anything to add to that?
No, sister said it all right there, man. Because it ain't this is the conversation doing them piss me off. I'm like, February, I'm gonna be a rude, mean mother sucker.
Well, you guys, you may not get too mad at this because we already knew it was coming, but the chat's gonna get angry even though they already know it's coming. I want to talk about holding someone accountable and broken promises. Do you want to get into Manchin or do you want to get into Kanye?
Because
we got Manchin and then we got
on for a while. What you want to get into? What you want to talk about?
Let's do Manchin first. Let's go ahead and get it out.
So there's a clip of Manchin and then there's a clip of Manchin and then there's a clip right after of Ayanna Presley responding and just completely laying it down.
Okay.
B1 first win.
Manchin. Let's go ahead.
The Build Back Better bill that is not coming up in the Senate before the new year, in part largely because of your reservations. Without you, the leadership doesn't have the votes it needs. So today, right now, what's the state of play?
Of legislation, and I had my reservations from the beginning when I heard about it 5.5 months ago, and I've been working diligently every day and every minute of every day. I've been working on this, meeting with whether it be the President Biden, whether it be Majority Leader Schumer and his staff, whether it would be with Nancy Pelosi, all of my colleagues, I mean, from all different spectrums of the political spectrum, if you will, from the right to the left. I've done everything humanly possible. Where I'm at right now, the inflation that I was concerned about, it's not transitory, it's real, it's harming every West Virginian. It's making it almost difficult for them to continue to go to their jobs, the cost of gasoline, the cost of groceries, the cost of utility bills. All of these things are hitting in every aspect of their life. And you start looking, and then you have the debt that we're carrying at $29 trillion. You have also the geopolitical unrest that we have. You have the COVID variant. If I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get.
So that's what that scum had to say.
Right, a Republican in Democrats' clothing. That's all it is. He's straight up on Fox News, like he stay there.
There's a lot of words I could use, but I'm just going to call him straight scum. And
yeah, you're right, David, because I want to say something so bad, but I'm just like, you know what? Reserve myself, man, my integrity.
Let's go the classy way first before we go in. And here's Ayanna Presley.
So, Congresswoman, you were right. Let's get your reaction to the news that West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin says he's not going to vote yes on Build Back Better.
Jake, to be clear, my lack and deficit of trust was about Senator Manchin. He has continued to move the goalpost. He has never negotiated in good faith. And he is obstructing the president's agenda, 85% of which is still left on the table. And in obstructing the president's agenda, he is obstructing the people's agenda. I was listening to his interview earlier today, and he said it's a mammoth bill. You're right. It's a mammoth bill to address mammoth hurt, to lower the cost of elder care, child care, prescription drug costs, the child tax credit, which is so critical in combating child poverty. West Virginia, I believe, is a 7th in the country when it comes to child poverty. So by not advancing the Build Back Better Act, not only do we fail to meet the needs of the American people, their mammoth hurt in the midst of this unprecedented pandemic and pandemic-induced recession. Not only that, but we are going to put in his district, in his state, 50,000 more children at risk of going back into poverty by not advancing the Build Back Better Act, because the child tax credit is in that, and it expired on Friday. Moreover, in his interview, he spoke about inflation. We know that there is inflation because of the impacts of this pandemic. So the most responsible thing that we can do is to pass the Build Back Better Act. We cannot allow one lone senator from West Virginia to obstruct the president's agenda, to obstruct the people's agenda. Jake, all I want for Christmas is a senator that has compassion for the American people and not contempt.
Read this, read. She gave a good encyclopedia read for Joe Manchin. And honestly, what can you say to, and this is why the questions that we ask are the questions that we ask, because we're confused as to where Joe Manchin stands. If you are a Democrat, and if Democrats are supposed to be, you're so focused on aligning yourselves with things that hurt the people that are voting for you guys, that are thinking that you're going to be a better representation for your state at that, and not Miss Presley having to label what you're doing to your own folks and how it's hurting, but the fact that your voice is bigger than the President of the United States' voice. I don't understand how you are somebody who can pull votes and say, I'm not doing it, so it ain't gonna get done. it lets me know while she's saying, don't be a Republican, Charlamagne, and I'm talking about Kamala Harris, Joe Manchin is the Republican here. Like, he's the one that's moving in that GOP manner. This doesn't give bipartisanship. This just gives me, I'm working with them because I really don't give two damns about the people who put me in place. I don't want to help the people. I don't want to see them moving forward. I don't want to see them build back better. I don't want that for us. So a lot of what Joe Manchin said, I love how Ayanna Pressley came back and gave a stat for each thing that he said. Because all he's saying is, I just really, initially sitting on Fox TV, just saying, I just don't want to do it. So it's not going to be done. With no true reasoning as to, how him making that decision is going to help the people, or him having another decision to put in place, another idea to put in place that's going to help the people. He's just really showing he does not care for the American people, yet alone the people of his own state. So.
Mark S. just said something that 81 million voted for Joe Biden. Joe Manchin is a senator with 272,000 votes, but he gets to block everything for the majority of people. Come on, that's real. Like, this.
And there were a few comments in there saying that he's not the only one against the bill, and that's I'm sure it's true. That's really why we should just at this point have the vote and make them, if they really want to vote no, let them vote no. I'm sure Manchin, is going to be bold enough to vote no, but make him go on the record and vote no. But but the other thing is, it's not. I mean, it is that he just doesn't want to do it, but the reason he doesn't want to do it is because right now his pockets are lined. So just as a reminder, he founded a company in West Virginia, a coal company that his son now runs, but he holds significant stake in. He's funded by big oil and big coal. And somehow Schumer allowed him to stay on the Energy Committee as the chair. Talk about a conflict of interest. It's just it's almost like they set it up so that they could claim they wanted to do it, but then say we can't do it, even though we're the only ones that are in the position to do it. It's completely dumbfounding.
It really is.
But isn't that the model right now that we see with our representation? Everybody says they're going to do it, make promises to do it, and then I'll pull up and say I can't do it any longer, even though, like, that was your job. Or at least fight for it. Let us see you fighting for it. But you're right. When your pockets are aligned with ways that are very GOP-ish, when you're making money from that, when you involved in things that if you speak in another way, that is not going to align with you getting more money on that, it doesn't work for you. And money controls everything, and we see that. Like, that has to be the only.
Like, for real. And I see that everybody's saying in the chat that his daughter also gouged the price of EpiPens.
She's in charge of one of the medical companies that makes the EpiPen, and she gouged. She made it like ridiculously unaffordable. There's been investigations into her too.
Corrupt.
I just don't see how people can treat people like that, man. It's just, I don't get it. I really don't. That annoys my soul. And it's a cold place. It's a whole hot place in hell waiting just for you. It's a pool just for you of hot, burning ash, lava steam, so you can melt your dirty ass in.
All right. So what do we have to say all in all about Joe Manchin? They're all clicked up. Kamala Harris, Joe Manchin, Joe Biden. Back all in the day, we used to be able to sit down and not really have these conversations to hold them accountable. They are in leadership. We got to deal with them for a few more years. But while we deal with them for a few more years, we can't sit here and be like, stop calling them out. We don't need to hold them accountable. We don't need to really see what they're doing. We don't need to uncover, what they're doing. We don't need to keep doing that. It's making us on the left look crazy. It's making we need to hold everybody accountable. I don't care who you are, because if we put you in leadership, we shouldn't just say, "Oh, you're just a representation of us. We won. We got more people on our side. Ha 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 ha." What are those people doing for everyone? Because everything that Ayanna Pressley said was very true. And if we keep putting people in place that are meant to help us, and they're not, and they're hurting us more, that are supposed to represent what we represent, but they're hurting us more. They're hurting our children more. The fact that they can't get healthcare is shooting up, or we can't get access to great quality healthcare, or for simple things that we need. The fact that people are still jobless, homeless, these are real issues. What are we doing about that?
Right.
So, I'm done.
Girl, right. Real quick, let's give a shout out and happy birthday to Mara Sharice. Happy birthday, Mara.
Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday. Listen, she's been doing her thing up in Paris. She's been doing her thing. And one day I'm going to be able to go to Paris and wear and afford her very luxurious. I was like, girl, I got to come back. I got to circle back to your very luxurious lingerie line. I got to circle back. But yes, when I can afford, I promise you I will be purchasing. But I like to see it. She's doing her thing. So happy birthday to her. If you guys don't already, follow her on Twitter, is it? And she has a very, she's documenting her trip. And I like to see it. Her face is flawless. Yeah. Like she has a face card. She has a face card. For sure.
So we got 5 minutes. James, I know you got stories from the vacation. I just don't know if they're private or public quality stories.
Oh, are we doing an after party today? I thought we were just doing a regular show.
It's up to you. It's up to you all.
What you want to say, Rick? We can do just a regular show today. I'm cool with that. I've been on for a long time,
You've been on for a long time.
James has been on for a long time.
Man, y'all can show me some love, too, if y'all want to. Buy me lunch, DJ X3C on Cash App.
Probably going to be a similar show tomorrow, too. If we're on air tomorrow, it's going to be similar, too. James is going to have some spin time.
Yeah, and I won't be here tomorrow because I have an ortho appointment, and because I work 3 jobs, I have to do the ortho appointment in the morning, so...
But we will be posting to Discord and Patreon about holiday and New Year's parties, checking the temperature, seeing where everyone's at for the next 2 Fridays. And we'll be able to be here on Wednesday, I think, right? We're planning on being on air Wednesday, Rebecca, James?
Yeah.
Rebecca says, what the hell? Yeah, I'll be here.
We'll be here.
Rebecca looked up like you put me on the spot, white boy.
She did. David, she looked like, what the hell?
We'll be here. No, but this is going to be a holiday week, so we want to make sure you guys aren't having to wake up in the morning, and watch us. I want y'all to get some rest, be with your family, start cooking that ham, turkey, whatever it is. I'm going to be by myself here, so yeah.
Oh, Becca.
So yeah. So show me some love.
I got your gift from Alicia as well too. You're gonna love it.
I'm excited to see
Shout out to Alicia. I kind of want to show it on screen. If Alicia says I can, I will, but I kind of want to spoil it for you. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
No, I can't wait to see it. I'm excited to see it.
Okay.
No, because she's been like, girl, get this gift. I said, go ahead, send the bubble. So you got Ben's as well, right?
Yeah, Dwayne, I actually have yours too, Dwayne, that I got to send to you. Oh, she said I can show it. Okay. It's so adorable and so cute. So we're going to start off with this one.
Is it drugs?
No, Rebecca. I kind of hoping it was, but no. At first, it's a little keychain. If y'all can see it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. So that's going on my keychain now. Wait, my big ass hand out the way.
I love that. I can't wait to put
I thought it was an earring at first. Okay. And then the next one is this I love to death.
Oh, there's a next one. She gave multiple gifts?
Okay. And this, oh my gosh, she about to make me put up my Christmas tree because I didn't have, no, Rebecca. Let me find out your weed head. Next one, I'm gonna have to put up my Christmas tree today because I didn't put one up because I didn't have time. But this.
Oh,
y'all,
I love that.
This is freaking amazing.
I want mine
if
now.
anything, you know what? I'm gonna go put mine on my mama's tree so I can so she'll have it over there.
I want mine right now.
I love it. I love it. It's a lion. I didn't even see the lion head on it. Oh Jesus!
Shout out! Wow.
I love
so shout out
so
Alicia, man. Thank you so much for this. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I need that. I need that now.
Yeah. When I tell you.
So when you gonna bring it to me, Bubba?
I'm checking my mail.
Bubba, when you gonna bring it to me?
You say something? My headphones went out.
When you all use James' address, James gets to decide when he disperses.
See, the thing is, I did tell Bubba I'm gonna take him out for seafood. So whenever we go out for seafood, it's gonna be this week. So when we go out for seafood, run me my gift.
I got you. And then, because Ben gonna have to come too, because I got his too. And Dwayne, I'm gonna put yours in the mail today, Dwayne, so you have it before Christmas, hopefully. Yeah, got you. Alicia, thank you again. Love you, sister. Thank you so much.
Alicia. I love that. That is so creative, and I can't wait to put it on my tree. I can't wait to show it off, and I'm gonna use it every year.
Right.
I love that. Well, that's all I got today. Dwayne, did you have to say something? Because you've been quiet. How was your birthday?
I had to work.
Okay.
Yeah. That was it. Birthdays ain't. I mean, it is what it is. Just another day, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Dwayne.
Dwayne, how old are you now?
33.
Nice.
I'm the
old. Wait a minute. I'm the oldest one on the show, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
Wait, David, how old are you again?
I'm 34. I'm
34. Yeah.
And Ben is 41, 42.
He's 40. He's 41.
41? Damn.
Damn. Yeah.
Damn. I'm sorry. I'm 43. That's all right, y'all. I look good for my 43-year-old age. That's cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Everybody looks good, actually. You guys, look, y'all all right.
We know, Rebecca. It's okay.
Yeah. But we're at the end of the show, though. And I hope that all of you guys enjoy your day. I'm happy that we were able to have this conversation because I know that, student loans conversation could go for years and whatever, because that's a true story that a lot of people are experiencing. That's why we made it such a big deal when we put them people in that seat. It's not because we're being lazy and we don't want to pay. I never had intentions to pay that back because I need to afford a living for myself. So, yeah.
I had intentions of paying it back granted I had a job that was going to afford to be able to pay it back.
Okay.
But see, nobody told me that once you get that degree, which I didn't get at the time, but a lot of my friends and everybody, they said the same thing. I get this paper and it's like, I'm not even working anything that's using this degree. So I'm just like, it's the same thing with me. I'm a freaking call center supervisor. My dang degree was I guess it matches, but it was food and beverage. I'm like, no, it's like pointless. I wasted 8 years, 4 years, 5 years. How many years it was?
So you know how to cook?
Man, what?
You want to come cook over here? Look, we could really get down in the kitchen.
James and Chuck Cecil I hear a cook-off
what is your specialty?
I do everything, honestly.
Okay.
Like literally,
you know what I've been.
We're gonna
I want some Black American food, like some good, like turkey neck and greens and like cornbread.
Okay, so I will say that soul food is not my thing because that's always been my mama because she always been here. But I might be able to do like a little something. Mm-hmm. It depends. But I do some like gourmet.
Of the turkey. And you smoke the neck of the turkey.
Oh no, I don't do that either.
It's hard for me to eat it, but I've ate it before and I want some.
Smoked turkey necks? I ain't never ate that before.
Or I could be making that up. Yo, I'm out of here. I love you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And,
yes,
and
y'all.
they'll see you tomorrow because I won't be here. But
yes, Chuck Diesel and our cook-off. Chuck Diesel and our cook-off. Chuck Diesel go in. I don't know if you seen his food. Jesus. That man cook. That man can really cook. I used to do stuff like that like Chuck Diesel do.
Get me
so once you see it.
Out of here. Goodbye.
Right. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all, thank y'all so much again for tuning in. Six Dragon Daddy, what's going on? And Laura Estrada, we missed you, Laura. Love you, mean it. And happy birthday again, Mara. Hey, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope y'all had fun rocking with us today. I know I enjoyed y'all too. We will see y'all in the morning. And if you have not already, patreon.com/likeitandnot, patreon.com/the BPD show. And also your affirmation for today. The past is over and I am moving on. The past is over and I am moving on. Y'all gonna be great today. Do something special. Merry Christmas as well. Happy holidays and all that other good stuff. We will see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.
Please leave me alone. I'm gonna miss you, but I'll be gone. I sure will miss you.